Welcome to StatLab statcrunch videos. Today we're going to be looking at section 7.3 using the t-test. Alright, so I want you all to have the notes that I gave you all in class. So first step, we need to go ahead and read the problem. They're asking us to use the t-test and use a t-test to test the claim about population mean at a given level of significance alpha. They said assume the population is normally distributed. I have the claim. So like I said, we have to go ahead and write the information we have. The first thing is my claim. I'm going to go ahead and write my H naught and my my HA. So my H naught is, I look at my claim. My claim has an equal to or equality, so I know it belongs to H naught. So mu greater than or equal to, excuse my handwriting here, 8,200. I have sample mean, I have sample standard deviation, and sample size. So answering the first question, if my H naught is greater than or equal to, my alternative is going to be less than 8,200. Which is my option C. Now for the next step, which is your your test statistic, you will have to, let me uncheck this one, question help, stats. I open my statcrunch, I have that opened up. I'm gonna minimize this one so y'all can see what's happening here. Stats, remember it's a t-test, so t-stat, one sample, and with my summary. So I'm going to go back to my data and see what information I have. I do have my sample mean, sample standard deviation, and my n value, sample size. So I'm going to go ahead and plug that in. Sample mean was, let's see what it was. It was 8,000. I'm going to go ahead and plug that in here. Sample mean 8,000. Sample standard deviation 450. Sample size 25. The most important thing is to make sure your alternative matches. So my alternative was mu, let me cross check, less than 8,200. So please make sure your alternative matches. If this does not match, keep in mind if they ask you for left tail, you would be giving them right tailed or two tailed. So that's very important. And then I click compute. I'm going to scroll this up here so you can see what I'm doing. And this is your test statistic, and this is your p-value, and let's see if that matches. Oops, how do I do that? Okay, let me scroll this. Your test statistic is, and your p-value, right? So you have that there. Once you have that, keep in mind what you're doing. You're going to go ahead and compare your p-value, which is, let me minimize this one. You will go ahead and compare your p-value, which is 0.18, to your alpha, which is 0.01. So my p-value is greater than alpha, so I fail to reject. I is missing. Fail to reject. And again, the way you write it down is you have to go back to your notes and see where does this belong. So let me go ahead and open that really quick so y'all can see where I'm going. Where am I here? Yeah, I think here. Oops, no, wrong button. Alright, let me cut this down here. Pearson, let me see my notes. I'm gonna go ahead and open my notes so y'all can see what I'm doing. Class worksheets, chapter 4, test 4, sorry, chapter 7. Scroll all the way down, and then I'm gonna go ahead and zoom this so y'all can see this here. Okay, so once I have my p-value here, I'm gonna go ahead and see what it is. My claim was my null hypothesis. My null hypothesis is my claim. Do you see that? And what did I do? I failed to reject. So once you have this information, you will go back to your main screen, and your H0 was your claim and you failed to reject. So you will be using these words to write down your interpretation. There is not enough evidence to reject the claim. I'm going to go back here, and you see what just happened? There is not enough evidence to reject the claim. All right. Moving on to the next problem, which would be, let's see. I want to do problem number 8. Okay. You receive a brochure from a large university. The brochure indicates that the mean class size for full-time faculty is fewer than 33 students. You want to test this claim. You randomly select 18 classes taught by full-time faculty and determine the class size of each. The results are shown in the table below. Like I said, you always start with your claim. What is my claim here? The mean class size for full-time faculty is less than 33 students. So mean is less than 33. And by default, you know this is your HA. So your null hypothesis, excuse my handwriting here, your null hypothesis is mu greater than or equal to 33, which is going to be your option. Once you have that, remember your alternative is your claim. Keep that in mind. Your alternative is your claim. You will need that when you are interpreting your final answer. Okay? All right. So once I have that, I'm going to check that. The next option is going to be to find, the next question is going to be to find the p-value. You will go ahead, open your data in statcrunch. Stats, t-stats, remember it's a t-statistic, one sample with data. Go ahead and check your variable. Remember, the most important step is to make sure your null hypothesis and your alternative match. So my null 33 and my alternative is less than 33. These have to match. If these don't, your whole answer will be wrong. All right. Then I click compute, and they only ask me for the p-value. So rounding off the p-value to do decimal places, it is 0.16. Once I have the p-value, I compare it to alpha. What is my alpha? Oops, let me see. My alpha was 0.1. So here my p-value is 0.016 and my alpha is 0.10. I see that the p-value is less than alpha. So I reject my null hypothesis. Oops, my handwriting. And how do I write and interpret my decision? Remember, what's my claim? My alternative is my claim. So let me go back here. Yeah, my alternative is my claim. Where is it? My alternative is my claim, and I reject. So I will be using these words to interpret. Remember, you have to know which your claim is, or else you might pick the wrong one. Sometimes your H0 could be your claim, or sometimes HA could be your claim. So be very careful which one your claim is and what you're doing. You will come back to this chart after you know if you reject or you fail to reject. in this case, my claim is HA, and I reject my null hypothesis. So I will be using the words, there is enough evidence to support the claim. Let's go ahead and take a look. Here you go. Reject H0 because p-value is less. And then how do I interpret? At 10% significance level, which is your alpha, which is 0.1, 10%, there is enough evidence to support the claim that the mean class size of full-time faculty is less than 33 students. So there is enough evidence to support the claim. What is your claim? Your mean faculty is less than 33 students. All right, hope this helps.